Anderson of the Cincinnati Bengals and young Joe Montana of the 49ers. But rookies have been the big surprise for both teams. The 49ers start 3 of them in their secondary, and last week it was Carlton Williamson's turn to shine. He had 2 interceptions as San Francisco defeated the New York Giants to clinch the NFC West Division. For Cincinnati, Chris Collinsworth, their number 2 draft pick from Florida, has 51 catches on the season. And last week, he had 2 touchdown receptions against the Cleveland Browns. So today at Riverfront Stadium, the veterans and the rookies will do battle as the Bengals try to clinch an AFC playoff spot and the 49ers try for the home field advantage in NFC postseason play.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the San Francisco 49ers against the Cincinnati Bengals.
It is sunny and cold, 34 degrees at Riverfront Stadium along the Ohio River in Cincinnati, and you're seeing 2 teams with 10-3 marks. The 49ers have clinched the NFC West Division title. The Cincinnati Bengals, 10-3 in the AFC Central, are trying to clinch their division and earn themselves a playoff spot today. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with Fred Dreyer here in Cincinnati. A most exciting matchup of the AFC and the NFC. A return home for 49ers coach Bill Walsh, who was an assistant with the Bengals here for 8 years.
Tim, and when he developed a great quarterback in Ken Anderson. He's instilled with him a lot of properties that great quarterbacks today have. And some of those properties have, fortunately for him and the 49ers, have rub off onto Joe Montana.
They sure have. And, of course, this Bengals offense has been devastating the last 5 weeks. Today, of course, they are contending with a very strong defense from the NFC, and it's led by Fred Dean.
Well, what the Bengals want to do is control the ball on first down. That way they keep the nickel and Fred Dean off the field. But if they can't do that, when Fred does come into play, Anthony Munoz will be battling Fred Dean. And he has a specially made jersey that we'll talk about later on that gives all those defensive guys a tough time.
Okay, Fred, we're about set for the kickoff. And it's going to be the 49ers kicking it off. The Bengals will receive to our right. Ray Wersching will kick it off. Deep men will be Archie Griffin. David Verser, number 81, standing on the goal line. There is Wersching. 34 degrees, expected to get to a high of only 43, so it is brisk. However, there is not much of a wind. And it is an otherwise very pleasant day for football in Cincinnati. Nearly 60,000 strong watching their beloved Bengals, who are having some kind of a season. David Verser, the rookie from the 5. Verser with room up the sideline over the 40 to the 42-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. Amos Lawrence, number 20, was there, along with Wright, number 21. And so the Bengals will start with good field position from their own 42-yard line.
David Verser has an exceptional amount of speed. And what you want to do to start the game off is get a good return and give your offense good field position. He does that right here.
So Ken Anderson, having a brilliant season, brings out the Bengals in a slot formation left. And they send out Charles Alexander wide to the right. Anderson will throw on first down, complete to the tight end, Dan Ross, number 89, and a Bengal first down into San Francisco territory. They spot the ball at the 46-yard line. And offensively for the Bengals, Anderson with Alexander and Pete Johnson, the running backs. Chris Collinsworth, the sensational rookie at wide receiver with Isaac Curtis. Munoz, Lapham, Bush, Montoya, Wilson, and the tight end, Dan Ross. Ken Anderson, number 14 from tiny Augustana, Illinois College, in his 11th year in the NFL, and it is turning out to be his best ever. That ball is underthrown, intended for Collinsworth, and it will be 2nd and 10 in San Francisco territory. Defensively for the 49ers, their 3-man front, Stuckey, Reese, and Dwayne Board. Board playing hurt. A knee suffered last week against New York. Harper, Reynolds, Pookie, and Keena Turner are the linebackers. in this brilliant secondary. Lott, Wright, and Williamson, the rookies, with the aged veteran Dwight Hicks, who's all of 25 years of age, out of the University of Michigan. 2nd and 10, Bengals. Charles Alexander going straight ahead behind Bush and Montoya, picked up about 3 yards on the gain. And we are informed we have just lost our picture temporarily, and we can see that we've lost it here in the booth as well, and there it is back for us. We hope you've got it back. 3rd down and 7. The ball is resting at the San Francisco 44-yard line. Out to the left comes Collinsworth, out to the right Isaac, still in the pro set, and now moving into the slot is the 3rd wide receiver, Steve Kreider. All kinds of action along the line. A flag is down as Anderson hits Kreider for another Bengal 1st down, depending on who the penalty is against. The ball now at the 27-yard line of San Francisco. The referee is Jerry Seaman, and consulting with his staff, will get the call here. Looked to me, Fred, like San Francisco might have jumped, but they could have been drawn over too. When the man moved up into the slot, that's when we got the action along the line.
Yeah, I think it was Fred Dean jumping off.
No, it's being charged against the Bengals. Illegal motion. Referee Jerry Seaman with the signal.
Offside, illegal motion, offense. Illegal motion, offense. Offside, defensive right tackle on the defense. Offsetting penalties.
All right, well, they called it both ways. Illegal motion against the offense, also offside against San Francisco. And David Burser has come into the game, number 81, replacing the tight end Dan Ross, so they have 3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 7. As that last game was wiped out. Slot formation left, receivers all over the field for Cincinnati. Intended for Curtis, intercepted by Ronnie Lott. Lott brings it back. Close to midfield, still going. And Lott finally tripped up at the Cincinnati 46-yard line. A flag down, but after the interception was made. Ronnie Lott picking off the pass intended for Isaac Curtis. And the sensational 49er rookie secondary continues to sparkle.
Tim, they're really going to have to contend a lot with the 49ers secondary. Ken Anderson told me before the game that they're really concerned about those guys because not only can they hit you, they're around the football all the time. And that's one of the great things that Ronnie Lott does. He's always around that football.
Well, there was a clipping penalty called on San Francisco following the interception, but they maintained possession.
Personal foul, clipping number 74 offense during the return.
Clipping the call, and the ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line of the 49ers. And we have a timeout on the field, as we'll see that interception again.
Tim, this is just a simple little dink pass over here just to get the yardage. It was a great athletic ability. On his athletic ability alone, Ronnie Lott is some athlete, but he does a great thing right here. He keeps the ball in front of him, makes the catch, and then goes to the sideline where he can get the most help from his players.
We are scoreless with San Francisco in possession.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Where'd he go?
The view will
I think he's lost.
Must say
He always
something
gets
more
lost.
somehow.
Hey, anybody miss me?
Hang
out there. You realize how long she's been gone? Take a look at this.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
And here's to our travel agent.
Even Santa shops Radio Shack's spectacular Christmas sale.
This realistic 40-channel CB would be great in my sleigh. Instant switching to emergency information channels on sale for $69.95. And Radio Shack's Deluxe Pocket Calculator. Perfect for adding up my toy inventory. Large, bright display and 4-key memory on sale for $14.95.
I knew these would make Santa happy.
Even Santa's Christmas dreams come true. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
The homecoming of Bill Walsh to Riverfront Stadium. The former Bengals assistant has done a remarkable job with this young San Francisco team as their head coach. Tim Ryan with Fred Dreyer as the 49ers take over the ball. Ricky Patton and Earl Cooper are the running backs to open their offensive series. Cooper trying the right side is bumped out of bounds by Louis Breeden after a gain of a couple of yards. Let's take a look at the 49ers offensively. Joe Montana, the quarterback. What a season he's having. Rated number 2 in the NFC. Patton and Cooper, the running backs. Dwight Clark, Mike Schumann getting the start for the injured Freddie Solomon. Another flag down on the play as we see the offensive line. Audick, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, and Fonhorst. And Charlie Young, who had a brilliant day last Sunday against the New York Giants. Freddie Solomon bruised a kidney in the game against New York. Was already hurt with knee and heel injuries, and he is sitting this one out. They hope to have him back next week. Infraction against the Bengals. Here's the call.
Holding number defense on 75 on the defense. First down.
Wilson Whitley called for defensive holding. San Francisco gets a free first down, and the ball is at their own 41-yard line. Slot formation left. Schumann 84, Clark 87, the wide receivers. Another flag is down. And Cooper digging for just a yard or two. We have had a play on each down thus far, except the first one.
I think they're just a little bit jumpy, Tim. You know, you come out in a game like this, 49ers got to get it going, and the Bengals, they're itchy. They're real itchy to get going, and I think guys are just trying to get warmed up.
The Bengals with a 2-game lead in the AFC Central. A victory here today would clinch at least a wild card spot for them.
Encroachment, number 67 defense. Still first down.
Gary Burley getting the start at left defensive end was offside. He is playing for the injured Eddie Edwards. Wilson, Whitley, Ross, Brown are along the front three with him. The linebackers Harris, LeClaire, Cameron, and Reggie Williams having an outstanding year. Breeden, Riley, Hicks, and Kemp are the secondary men. Johnny Davis has joined Ricky Patton for San Francisco. Play action for Clark, incomplete. He took a real good lick from Ken Riley, number 13, just as the ball arrived.
Tim, Ken Riley has been one of the mainstays for 13 years on this. Now watch what he does back here. He backpedals, keeps his eye on Clark, and then comes up. You see what he does here? Ken Riley broke as the quarterback looked his way and threw the ball. He was watching the quarterback. That's an old veteran for you.
Perfectly timed hit on Clark as Bill Walsh checks out the short list of plays to see what we do next. 2nd and 5. They give it to Ricky Patton. He is stopped by LeClaire and dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Jim LeClaire, number 55, blowing into the gap and hitting Patton just after he got the ball.
Jim LeClaire is one of your better defensive linebackers. He is an inside linebacker. He's a captain of that team. He calls the signals. He's got great leadership from him. And it's going to be very difficult for the 49ers today to move the ball on the ground.
It brings up 3rd down and 7 to go for the 49ers at their own 45-yard line. We are scoreless in the first period. They've got 3 runners lined up in an old T formation. Now Schumann comes out in motion. Montana rolling. Complete to the tight end, Young. He will be near the first down, but we'll wait and see where they spot the ball. Good pass by Montana. The old T formation to start that one off.
You know, I think today, seeing as it's going to be difficult to run, and I think the 49ers know it's going to be tough to run on them, what they're going to have to do is it's going to be Montana is improvising to his receivers today. Montana's at his best when he's running around back there improvising. He's very good at that.
It is a 49er first down. Charlie Young running the perfect route, had the necessary 7 yards, and so the 49ers keep going, and they have the ball now in Cincinnati territory at the Bengals 49. Schumann right, Clark left, pitch out to Cooper, and he gets away from Reggie Williams. Cooper upfield over the 45 of Cincinnati to the 44. Pickup of about 3 on the play, where Bo Harris ranged over from the left side to make the tackle. Reggie Williams nearly had him for another loss. Williams with 85 tackles, leading the Bengals in that department. What a season he's having. 7 sacks and 2 interceptions. That's not a bad year for a linebacker. It is second down and a long 7 for the 49ers in Bengal territory. Schumann out to the right. Montana flips it up, wide open, Charlie Young. And he dropped the ball as he was hit at the 15-yard line. It is ruled incomplete. A perfect play to that point. Montana to the tight end Young, but another good lick on him by Louis Breeden, and he could not hold on to the ball.
Both secondaries on both teams are noted for their tenacity and their hitting. Kemp, the safety for the Bengals, and as well as Brian Hicks for the Bengals, are tough guys back there, and Charlie Young's going to see a lot of both of those guys today.
Good defensive play by Cincinnati. Brings up third down for the 49ers. The nickel back is in. John Simmons, the rookie from SMU for the Bengals. In motion goes Schumann behind the ball. Great drop for Montana this time. Lobs it out to Schumann. The pass complete, and he is close to first down yardage again. And once more, it will be determined by the placement of the ball on the tackle, Bo Harris, along with Louis Breeden.
Here you see right here, this is the eye view that Joe Montana sees, a burly 67 here. He coming in having a good pass rush, but all Joe wants to do is get away from the rush and get the ball underneath the defense to one of his receivers. And here he does it to Schumann, who gets the first down for him.
Well, they're going to measure it for the first down, Fred. It was close, and it appears that he has it, but will require another measurement to make sure.
That's why they have those sticks up there, don't they?
Right.
He didn't get it.
Well, he's short by about a foot, the length of the football, we'll call it. The ball is at the 39-yard line, just inside the 39 of Cincinnati. And there is no hesitation on the part of Bill Welch. He's going for it. Johnny Davis has come in, number 38 at fullback.
You know, Tim, what's interesting here is it's early in the game and the 49ers already clinched their division. They're going to make it very difficult for the Bengals to clinch their division. I like the attitude that they have on offense.
Yes, indeed. Much speculation about how Bill Walsh would approach this game. Would Guy Benjamin play at quarterback? Would he rest some of the injured players? So far, he's playing offensive winning-type football, and Davis appears to have gained the first down yardage. The crowd here responding to the good defensive stop, but it looks from here as though Davis has the first down. Pile up of Bengal players. At the bottom, the last man up is Gary Burley, and it's credit for the tackle on the play, but it is a 49er first down. Eason Ramson, who was in on the double tight for the short yardage play, goes out of the lineup. Then back in, Clark with Schumann, the wide receivers. Davis stays in. Amos Lawrence has joined him at running back number 20. First down, 49ers. Montana, lots of time. He's got Young open. Charlie Young inside the 30 of Cincinnati. Pickup of 9 yards on the play. Ken Riley on the tackle for the Bengals.
Charlie Young is going to have a big day because what they're doing is they're taking their receivers here. Montana's dropping back. He's waiting for the receivers, his own receivers, to clear out underneath for Charlie Young to come across. And what they're doing is putting a matchup, Charlie Young underneath on a linebacker. And with Charlie's height at 6'5", there's quite a bit of a difference.
You can see Glenn Cameron, number 50, the inside linebacker, trying to make the target. It is second and a yard. They give it to Amos Lawrence. Lawrence is hit right at the 25-yard line, and that will be another first down for San Francisco. Bobby Kemp, the rookie from California at Fullerton, knocked him out of bounds.
Kemp may be their toughest tackler back there. He's a rookie, and he came in knowing he was kind of a long shot to make the team, but he knew that when he came into the Bengals secondary, he was going to have to excel at something. And I'll tell you, he is a tough tackler. And the receivers and everybody who carries the ball is going to have to face Bobby Kemp today.
Kemp, the 8th pick of the Bengals this year, and a very pleasant surprise. Ricky Patton back into the lineup. At running back, joining Davis in a wide throw set. They give it to Patton. He is tripped up underneath by Wilson Whitley, number 75, who dove in under the block of the center, Fred Quillen, and did a good job. Gain of the yard on the play will bring up second and 9. We have seen quite a variety of offense from Bill Walsh in this opening series by the 49ers. We expect to see the same kind of varied offense from the Bengals when they get the ball again. This is going to be a really interesting game tactically.
You're right, Tim. And Bill Walsh here, what he wants to do is he wants to out-hit the Bengals, and he wants to execute, and he wants to hog the ball.
He is using up the clock at this point. 2nd and 9. Montana deep for Patton, almost intercepted. The ball was overthrown, and it was number 27, Brian Hicks, the second-year man from McNeese State, who had a shot at the interception.
Here's what happens here. He throws the ball right down the middle of the field. It's a gamble type of pass. If you're going to throw the ball down the middle with your coverage so tight here, you better get the ball in there quick. That was kind of a gamble by Joe, but fortunately they didn't intercept the ball.
We have seen him throw it on a rope, and we've seen him loft it today in various circumstances. And, Fred, I think you're right there. That was a place where maybe he should have a little more zing on it. 3rd down and 9. The nickel back is in. The 4 down linemen are in. St. Clair joining the Bengals defensively. Montana complete to Clark. Clark at the 5, and he's tripped up there by Hicks at the 4-yard line. And Montana delivers again another 49er first down. Now San Francisco on the doorstep.
Montana does an excellent job of feeling where he is. Now watch the rush come from his left. See right there? 79 comes barreling around there. Ross Browner comes in there, and he has a great feel of when to step up. He knows where he is, and more importantly, he knows who's around him.
The Rams are in front of the Giants 7-0 in the first period of their game at New York. And first down, it is Lawrence, and a good defensive play by Lewis Breeden, and Jim LeClaire dropping him for no gain right along the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal.
Here's the handoff here to Bill Ring. Now, he's been used mostly in this plus 20 territory down here, and he's a tough runner. He gets the hard yards for you. But right here, you're going to have a tough day getting by Jim LeClaire. This is a very, very good run defense.
Fred, thank you for the correction. Bill Ring, number 30, not Lawrence, number 20, and they used Ring in close last week against the Giants. Montana rolling, Ring wide open, touchdown. Bill Ring. Nobody picked him up out of the backfield, and Montana just lobbed it to him in the corner of the end zone, and the 49ers have gone in front. Bill Ring, the first-year man from Brigham Young, picked up as a free agent last year when he was cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is from Belmont on the San Francisco Peninsula.
Here is from a ground level now. Great shot here, as you can see, where Joe knows where the ball's going to go from after he got the snap count. This is the primary receiver here, and he goes out uncontested.
So Bill Ring, who figured heavily in the drive last week that led to Wershing's field goal, gets the touchdown early in this football game. Ray Wershing has the point after. And we have 7:01 remaining in the first quarter as we see this play again.
Montana looks and throws the ball here to Ring. Now, this play here, it was a mistake as far as coverage goes on the Bengals' part. You got to cover that guy. Anybody that goes in motion down there, you got to move with them in order to cover a guy like that.
And with Fred Dreyer at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, where the 49ers used up 6:04 on the clock following the interception by Ronnie Lott, going the distance for the score by Bill Ring, and they have a 7-0 lead. Montana was 5 for 8 on that drive, 46 yards and a touchdown. Wershing will kick it off. David Verser from the 10. Verser, another pretty good return over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Verser coming into this game with an average of 24.2 yards a kickoff return. That one was good for 22. New Orleans in front of St. Louis, 3-0 in the first period of their game. Washington out in front of the Eagles, 6-0. They missed the extra point, a touchdown by Joe Washington, and the Rams leading the Giants 7-0 in the first period. Now the Bengals bring it out. First down here as they trail 7-0. Charles Alexander goes wide to the left. Pitch shot to big Pete Johnson. Johnson off left tackle, had a good hole and blasts his way for a first down. Hard running by Pete Johnson. Johnson came into the game with 876 yards rushing. Dwight Hicks made the hit.
One thing you don't want to do is allow this man at 250 some odd pounds here to get his shoulders turned right there. He starts going up the field. He's 250 some odd pounds, folks. You don't want to meet him head on. If it snows out here, he was so big they were going to put chains on him.
Pete Johnson, what a year he's having. 16 touchdowns he scored. That's second in the American Conference. First down for the Bengals on the move at their own 42-yard line. Again, it's Johnson. Again, a big hole. It's closed down by the linebackers, but he picked up about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Running behind Lapham and Munoz. Tina Turner, the linebacker, made the hit. You know, Kenny Anderson, who hasn't yet thrown a pass on this drive, went 86 throws without an interception until Ronnie Lott picked that one off. He has only 7 interceptions on the season. That's remarkable.
You know, Tim, a lot's been said about the influence of Bill Walsh, but Paul Brown has had a lot to do with Kenny Anderson.
It is 2nd and 6 for the Bengals. Slot formation left. In motion, Alexander. Anderson to throw. Quick out to the tight end, Ross. Complete, and he has the first down. Dragging the defender, Carlton Williamson with him. And the Bengals on the move again. The ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line. No, now right on the 45 of San Francisco.
Tim, the Browns really like Dan Ross. They really think he's a great player. He's tough. He runs good patterns. He has good hands. He's not going to really be a deep threat for you, but the guy is big and strong and very reliable. You see a lot of him today.
58 receptions. With that one, he has become the club record holder for receptions in the season. Play action. Anderson rolling. He's got lots of room to run, and he does. Anderson with another first down and gets out of bounds without taking a hit. To the 34-yard line of the 49ers. Kenny Anderson. Let's return to our studios in New York for an NFL Today report and Brent Musburger.
Tim and Fred, the Eagles are in a dogfight. Jaworski fumbled. Joe Washington took it in from 6 yards out. Mosley blew the extra point. The Eagles now are on the drive. Let's go back to Cincinnati and Tim.
All right, back here in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium at the 34-yard line of San Francisco. The Bengals are on the move. Anderson, quick clear pass out to Collinsworth. Complete for a gain of about 6 yards to the 29 of the 49ers. On the coverage over there was Dwight Hicks, number 22, and the cornerback, number 42, Ronnie Lott. 2nd and 4 for the Bengals, and we have seen some offensive football, and these are 2 outstanding defensive teams.
Yeah, Tim, you really have, and you're going to see an awful lot of everybody on both teams. Both teams have one philosophy. Everybody is capable of scoring touchdowns. Get everybody the football.
That's kind of like the touch football games in the park, isn't it? Everybody out. 2nd and 4.5, we'll call it here. The pitch out to Pete Johnson. Johnson cuts it back and rolls over people for a first down to the 18. Pete Johnson. Dwight Hicks finally stopped him with help from Craig Pookie. And the 5-year man from Ohio State at 105 yards last week against Cleveland. He's off to a good start here. First down, Bengals at the 18-yard line of San Francisco. The 49ers lead it 7-0. Now a pass from Montana to Bill Ring from the 4-yard line in the last offensive series for San Francisco. Hot formation left again for the Bengals. In motion, Alexander. Long count that time by Anderson. Drills the ball complete to the tight end, Ross. And that will be, again, very close to the first down. Jack Reynolds, number 64, the linebacker, and Williamson, 27, the safety on the coverage. And it is a Bengal first down. It brings up 1st and goal from the 8.
Watch Ken Anderson here. He plants and gets rid of the ball. That's what you want to do down here. Plant, look where you have to throw it, and get it there as quick as you can, because the area down here is very, very small, and there's a lot of people in a small area. You got to get the ball in there quick, and Kenny did it.
Double tight end offense now. M.L. Harris, number 83, Joining Ross at tight end, one running back, is Pete Johnson. First and goal. Johnson tripped up behind the line as the 49ers tighten it up. Wait and see who that man is. Getting up, it was number 65, and that is Lawrence Pillars, the 6-year man from Arizona State, with a big defensive play, a loss of about a half a yard. Second down and goal for Cincinnati. Harris comes out. Alexander goes back in for the Bengals. Shadows already across most of Riverfront Stadium. But it is a beautiful afternoon for football. A little on the chilly side, but dry and sunny. Slot formation left. Second and goal. Anderson has Ross open, and it's complete, but not much of a gain, if any. Carlton Williamson, the fine rookie from Pittsburgh, made the hit.
You know, the impressive thing about Carlton Williams, as well as all the San Francisco secondary, is they're very bright people. And you got to be bright to play professional football, and it shows up when you come down here inside the 20, because coverages and pass patterns change very, very fast. He's a rookie, and he's very, very good.
A gain of just 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up third down and goal from the 6. Harris back in at tight end. One running back once more in a slot formation right. Anderson, lots of time. And it's batted away and maybe picked off. Yes, it is. The ball loose now, but it is ruled an interception and San Francisco ball. Now we'll just check and see who came up with it. It looked like Pillars might have been the man who grabbed it. Hopefully on the replay we'll have a better look. It appeared to be Pillars who batted the ball down. We'll see who came up with it, but the 49ers with a big defensive play. Here it is again, Fred.
Here it is. Kenny's looking. He's turned to his right. He's looking for anybody right now. Scrambles just to get open. He could have probably run it in, but decided to throw it. What a great play. Number 58. That's Keena Turner.
Keena Turner, the linebacker.
What a great, great athletic play. That's one of Jack Reynolds' disciples right there.
All right, so the 49ers have stopped the Bengals drive, and they have it at the 10. Tim Ryan and Fred Dreyer. Let's see that one again, Fred.
Keep your eyes peeled for the right-hand side of your screen for Keena Turner coming up right there. Right there. Now, there is what's known as a hand-eye coordinated athlete. He could be a great basketball player. I'll tell you something. At 6'2", 219 pounds, this fellow right here can flat play linebacker.
He's a terrific athlete. I came down the elevator of the hotel with members of his family, and they said, give Keena a lot of play today on the telecast. They said he'll have to do that himself. Well, he did. First down, 49ers. And the Bengals rise up to stop Cooper right at the line of scrimmage. Just check on that offensive lineup for the 49ers. We get a lot of substitutions in there, and that was Davis. So it is Davis and Patton coming out to start this series at running back for the 49ers. And the ball still at the 10-yard line. Good work in the middle of that defensive front for the Cincinnati Bengals. Whitley and Browner. The linebackers Leclerc and Cameron all jamming it up. Second down, this is Patton. Patton is hit behind the line of scrimmage. And an inspired Cincinnati defense on the rise. Glenn Cameron, number 50, blowing in. Right behind him, Reggie Williams. And two good defensive plays by Cincinnati as the 49ers have a 3rd and 10 still at their 10-yard line. Eason Ramson comes in. Charlie Young goes out for the 49ers. Third down. Patton and Davis still the running back. Slot formation left for the 49ers. Montana standing right at his goal line. Intended out the left side for Ramson, incomplete. On the coverage, number 25, John Simmons. So the crowd here at Riverfront gives their defense a standing ovation. And boy, did they shut them down on 3 consecutive downs.
Yeah, they sure did. And that's something they've been doing to everybody all year, so it's not really a big surprise. And the fans here in Cincinnati, there's only 2 really professional teams in Cincinnati, the baseball team, the Reds, and the Bengals. This is no longer a baseball town.
And so, punting from the end zone will be Miller. Gets it away right from the goal line. Fuller in San Francisco territory. Flags everywhere as he's pulled down by number 28, Lynn Thomas, at about the 46-yard line of the 49ers. A 39-yard punt for Miller, but let's see what the flags are about. First 49er punt of the afternoon. The Bengals had 2 offensive possessions, and they were stopped by interceptions each time. The call is apparently against Cincinnati, and it's being marked off by the referee, Jerry Seaman.
Illegal block above the waist, number 26 on the receiving team during the return. First.
Penalty against the Bengals will back them up to their own 43-yard line, and we'll return to Riverfront Stadium in just a moment. Just 3 seconds remaining in this first period with the 49ers leading 7-0.
Yeah, the Bengal defense has been a very, very big part of the Bengals' success this year. One of them is Hank Bulla, the coordinator and linebacker coach, down here telling his troops how to go. They're anxious to get back onto the field.
The third offensive series for the Bengals. The first 2 ended in interceptions, raising Anderson's total to only 8 on the season. And he completes his first down pass here to Ross. He's close to the first down once more. That will bring up the end of the first quarter here at Riverfront. At the end of this first period of play, the San Francisco 49ers 7, the Cincinnati Bengals nothing. We'll return to Cincinnati in a moment.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. And by Lowenbrau. When it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau.
Tim Ryan and Fred Dreyer back at Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium. We're about to begin the second period of play here with the 49ers leading 7-0. Elsewhere, Detroit in front of Green Bay, a very important game involving the wild cards. 3-0 in the second period. St. Louis, Neil Lomax has scored from 22 yards out to take the lead over New Orleans 7-3. And New England in front of Miami 7-0 in the first period. All right, the Bengals. Pete Johnson straight ahead. Picked up about 3 yards. And look at this. The Eagles have come back against Washington 7-6 in the second period. Next week, those Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys will be a very big one here on CBS. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, 12:30 Pacific time. Our doubleheader game next Sunday on CBS. A showdown in the NFC East between the Eagles and the Cowboys. 2nd and 8 for the Bengals. Alexander and Johnson, the running back. Curtis to the right. Collinsworth to the left. Anderson has time, and it is incomplete, intended for Ross, who appeared to lose his balance just as he was reaching for the reception. Ronnie Lott on the coverage. And now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Tim, here's the touchdown you just talked about for the Eagles. From the shotgun, Jaworski will have Campfield, and he just does break the plane of that goal line before he coughs it up. Franklin's extra point has them ahead. Back to Tim Ryan.
All right, back in Cincinnati, Steve Kreider has come in to give the Bengals 3 wide receivers a flag down as Anderson, forced from the pocket, runs it upfield, where he is hit by a pair of 49ers. And flags are down on the far side of the field. Lawrence Pillar's in on the hit, and he is getting up slowly. Keena Turner also there on the tackle. An officials conference.
You know, that's an interesting play. Now, Kenny Anderson is very capable of doing that type of thing. However, it's a two-edged sword. He can burn you with it defensively, but also he can pay the price by taking a lot of unnecessary hits, and you don't want to lose him at this point in time of the season.
Apparently the infraction, Fred, against the Bengals. We'll get it here from referee Jerry Seaman momentarily. Anderson came into the game having carried the ball 32
Illegal
times.
formation, number 78 on the offense, not on the line of scrimmage.
Anthony Munoz, the second-year man from USC, who has just been outstanding this season, was not lined up properly. is not on the line of scrimmage, and the call is against the Bengals for 5 yards. Third down and 13. Bengals picking up 4 penalties now for 25 yards. Out to the right comes Kleider. 3 wide receivers again, slot left. Anderson with lots of time hits the tight end. Rossi dropped the ball just as he was popped by the linebacker. Bobby Leopold, number 52, who put a good hit on him, and Ross could not hold on.
The 49ers have got to really be happy with their play. Here it is. Kenny looks around, waits for the secondary to set their defenses, and goes into Ross. Now, he has a tough time holding on to it, but look at the defensive play here by Leopold. This is the type of thing, you have a defense you want to keep sharp. They're really kind of like got their division wrapped up. They don't really necessarily have to play that tough. They could rest some people, but they're not. They're playing good defensive football.
McAnally is in to punt for the Bengals, standing at his 36. The deep man is White Hicks, number 22. And he just got it away against a good rush from Milt McCall. But it's a tremendous punt by McAnally, going out of bounds inside the 5 of the 49ers. A 46-yard punt to the corner by Pat McAnally, doing his job. And the 49ers will start from a hole, leading 7-0 early in the second period. Tim Ryan with Fred Dreyer. We're back here in Cincinnati, where McAnally just did the job.
There's one thing about kickers. They can be very selfish. He could have kicked the ball into the end zone to get more yards, but he sacrificed yards for ball placement. These type of guys, you have to have these type of people to win. He's a heck of a guy and a good athlete, and I think kicking like that, he couldn't help but win that NFC or AFC kicking championship.
Good athlete, too. He's also one of their reserve receivers. So the 49ers start from their own 3-yard line. And blasting out over right tackle Ricky Patton, picked up about 3 yards on the play. They'll mark it out at the 7-yard line, so maybe it's about a 4-yard gain for Patton, running behind Randy Cross and Keith Bonhorst. 2nd and 6 for the 49ers. Across the front for the Bengals, it is Burley, Whitley, and Browner. Linebackers Harris, LeClaire, Cameron, and Williams trying to pin him in. Wide left comes Schumann. Johnny Davis behind the right guard Cross, and the center Quillen met by the middle of that Cincinnati defensive front. Whitley, LeClaire taking the contact. Bill Welch sending in the play here on 3rd down and 4. Eason Ramson comes in along with Earl Cooper, and Cooper delivers the play to Joe Montana. 3rd down, a long 4 for the 49ers at their own 10-yard line. They lead 7-0 on a Montana pass to Bill Ring. Straight drop. Montana to Cooper. Cooper is forced out, and it is a 49er first down as he's forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And the 49ers have moved it up out of their own end.
What they've done here is take both halfbacks out to the same side of the field, which screws up the coverage if you're a linebacker. And what they do is they wait till the first guy clears and hit the second back coming out of the backfield, which was Cooper, to get the first down.
Bo Harris, the man to make the tackle, but the 49ers have a little more breathing room. Play action, complete to Clark. Clark spins away from one tackler and gets close to the 34-yard line. White Clark is pulled down there by Brian Hicks after LeClaire made the initial hit.
What you'd like to see here is a good play action pass. What you see right there is, but what you want to do is you want to run just enough on the Bengals to get them to respect your run, so your play action passes work to guys like Dwight Clark. He did a good job of going to the open area to get the ball.
Third-year man from Clemson, 73 catches on the season. Coming into the game, Ricky Patton has good running room out the right side. Ricky Patton over the 40-yard line of San Francisco as they have marched it out from deep in their own territory. Gary Burley tripped him up, and Jim LeClaire, the man to hold him down. Gain for Patton of close to 9 yards. Let's call it an 8-yard pickup. New England in front of Miami 7-0 in the second period. Another important AFC action. The Rams continue to lead the Giants 7-0. As we get a good look at those magnificent Bengal mascots along the sideline. Here's Johnny Davis. Davis blasts his way out the right side for another 49er first down to midfield.
I'm really impressed by the way the 49ers have approached the game. They're getting everything done that they want to do. They're hogging the football, and they're even having some success running the ball. The Bengals have got to start playing tougher defense and doing something with the ball once they get it.
There's Bill Walsh, who has certainly had an offense prepared for this football game. The way the 49ers have moved it, they now have first down at midfield. That last reception by Clark, by the way, put him over 1,000 yards receiving. Cooper is in, number 49 at running back, play action Montana. And he is sacked by Reggie Williams, number 8 on the season for number 57, who is having some kind of year for Cincinnati. A big defensive play as the 49ers had their own way on this drive, using up time and mileage.
Joe has a little play-action pass here. What happened was the pass blocking just broke down before the pass patterns developed. That was all.
Ricky Patton was back in the block, but looked like Reggie Williams, the 6-year man from Dartmouth, beat him to bring up second and 19 for the 49ers. Ball back at their 41. Montana has the time. He finds Charlie Young open. Young tripped over his own man as he cut it back inside. Tough break for Charlie Young. He tripped over his own man. That was Ricky Patton, who was trying to help out blocking as they had to improvise that pattern. He picked up about 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 12.
What Joe's doing here, you see him scrambling around looking, and he goes to Charlie Young underneath the defense here, and Charlie can't go up the field because he sees Ken Riley, so he cuts back underneath, and unfortunately slips and falls.
So the ball is at the San Francisco 48. A big defensive down for the Bengals here. 3rd down and 12. Wide left is Clark. Wide right is Schumann. Montana for Charlie Young, complete. Another outstanding catch by Young as he took another big hit from Louis Breeden, but he got the first down. And reminiscent of just a week ago when Young came up with 2 sparklers against the Giants.
You know, Charlie Young has such great hands. But Joe once again scrambles out and gets the ball to Charlie. He takes a hit right there. Now, he didn't land on the turf, which is very, very hard, but he takes a shot when he catches the ball.
There was a flag down on the play, however, Fred, and it is going to be against the 49ers. So the Bengals get a break there as Charlie Young came up with another outstanding catch. Despite the hard hit from Breeden, had the first down yardage, but they're backed up to the 38.
Ineligible downfield, number 51 on the offense. 3rd down.
Randy Cross ruled an ineligible receiver downfield.
What happens on plays like that is linemen, if the ball isn't thrown soon enough, linemen lose perspective of where the quarterback is, and so they have a tendency to drift downfield.
Ray Griffin has come into the secondary for Cincinnati on this obvious passing down. Montana screen pass to Cooper, quickly broke up the blocking, and that enabled 5 Bengals to hold it to no gain at all. Another big defensive play for Cincinnati. So the 49ers will have to punt, and credit Whitley for putting the pressure on and breaking up that blocking in front of Cooper. Miller will come in to punt for the 49ers. And it'll be Mike Fuller, the deep man for the Bengals, standing at his own 23-yard line. A high snap, a good catch by Miller, and the barefooted punter gets it away. Fair catch signaled by Fuller at the 26-yard line of Cincinnati. Near disaster there for the 49ers, averted by the good catch by the punter Miller. Will return to Cincinnati in just a moment. Tim Ryan with Fred Dryer in Cincinnati. We have 7:55 remaining in the first half. The 49ers lead at 7-0. The Bengals have the ball following a 38-yard punt by Miller, and the Bengals defense did the job. Now Johnson and Alexander, the setback, as Ken Anderson will try to get the Bengals down the field. Deep pass for Curtis. It is incomplete. It hit Ronnie Lott on the hip. Lott, number 42 on the coverage. The ball underthrown by Anderson. Going deep on first down. 2nd and 10 from the 26th of Cincinnati.
You're right, Tim, about that ball being underthrown. Ken Anderson wants to go deep today. He thinks he can do it. He's got the receivers to do it, of course. But they're not going to alter their game plan because of anything the 49ers do. But one thing that they're going to have to contend with is the great coverage that Ronnie Lott provides out there, cornerback for the 49ers. He was in great position that time.
2 quick scores. Detroit in front of Green Bay 10-0. And St. Louis leading New Orleans 14-3 in the second period. 3 wide receivers are in, and they're all stacked on one side for Cincinnati. Anderson trying to get it to Kreider, incomplete. Double coverage on him. Hicks and number 28, Lynn Thomas, playing the nickelback again this afternoon for San Francisco.
Here you'll have 3 wideouts to the right. 2 of them go inside, and 1 of them goes in short. Now watch Kreider, 86 here. He's having a great year, and what he does is, after he takes a shot, what he does is he comes in for a halfback and lines. The halfback comes out of the field, and he'll come in and line up anywhere in the backfield. And that time he came out far out to the right-hand side.
It is 3rd down. Bengals are 0-3, converting 3rd downs thus far. Slot formation left. 3 wide receivers again. Anderson out to Johnson out of the backfield. Ronnie Lott meets him at the 30-yard line. And the Bengals will have to punt after a gain of only 5. Ronnie Lott picking up Johnson out of the backfield as well. Another flag down, however. We have had a bunch of penalty flags in this first half. And it is offside against San Francisco. So Cincinnati gets a break because the 49ers had forced a punting situation.
Tim, what you might see is Anderson calling irregular or erratic snap counts. You got 2 good pass rushers in Fred Dean and Pillars for the 49ers, and what you want to do is you don't want to let your defensive lineman get a bead on you as far as when the ball's going to be snapped. So what you try to do is give erratic snap counts, and I think that time it worked.
Offside, defensive right tackle.
Well, the defensive right tackle on the last play was probably John Hardy, the rookie from Iowa, is getting some time in there now. Along the front, Fred Dean is lined up at right defensive end. Keith Cougar was hurt last week in the final play of the game against the Giants. Has gone on injured reserve. It is 3rd and 5 for the Bengals. Anderson runs out of time, but eludes Fred Dean. Anderson has run for the first down and slides in to the 46-yard line. Take it to 44 of Cincinnati, but good running by Ken Anderson has a first down.
These type of things really can break your back if you're a defensive lineman. Fred Dean almost gets a sack. Right here, you'll see him coming at the top of your screen. He gets by Munoz, but what happens is they lose containment, and Fred doesn't make the tackle. He allows the guy to scramble and get a first down. So instead of a sack and they have him to punt, you got a first down now.
What do defensive ends say to themselves when they miss that sack?
It's not what they say themselves, what everybody else says to them.
Ryder is out of Johnson and Alexander back in with 2 running backs here on 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Big hole for Alexander. Alexander all the way to the San Francisco 40-yard line, where he is hauled down from behind by Williamson. Make it to Eric Wright, number 21, who made the tackle.
You'll see the big hole that opens up here for Alexander. Now, one thing about Alexander, he'd like to run the ball 20 or 30 times because he'd like to have the glory of doing this a lot. But what happens here is you got a guy who can catch the ball as well as run, which is obvious here. He's very unselfish. He fits into their offense very, very well. He'll do anything he can to get the ball.
Eric Wright and Whitehead combining to stop him, but the Bengals with a big gainer, 16 yards to the San Francisco 40. Anderson wants to throw, and he is dropped after a pickup of about 4 yards, forced out of the pocket by number 79, Jim Stuckey. And then back to get him, Craig Pookie, the linebacker, and Dwayne Board, number 76. But a gain of 4 yards for Anderson, scrambling, makes it 2nd and 6 at the 49er, 37-yard line. Anderson now has 25 yards on 3 carries. Chicago leading the Vikings 3-0 in the second period. Miami has come back to tie New England at 7-7 in the second period. Slot formation left for the Bengals on 2nd down. Anderson up the middle, complete to Collinsworth. First down for the Bengals. On the coverage, the linebacker, Keena Turner, number 58. Another flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Collinsworth just runs down the field here and goes right inside the coverage here and stops and turns around. Now, I'll tell you what made this play was a great throw by Kenny Anderson of wedging that ball in there. Unfortunately, it has to come back.
It does. The preliminary signal from Jerry Seaman was a clipping penalty against the Cincinnati Bengals. And so the 49ers get themselves a break here via the penalty route against the Bengals, who are on the move.
Personal foul, clipping, number 58 on the offense.
Blair Bush, the center, number 58, guilty of clipping on the passing play, and so it is 2nd and 20 from the 49 of Cincinnati now. 3 wide receivers back in for the Bengals, with Steve Kreider joining Curtis and Collinsworth. Anderson, sideliner, Curtis complete. Forced out by Wright. Pickup of about 9 yards, Fred.
Excuse me, Tim, but Isaac Curtis has been playing with injuries all year. And here, what he does here, see how he goes underneath the coverage right here and goes right to the sidelines? He's been doing that all year, and he's been taking a lot of blows. He's got a crushed-in cheekbone. It's been injured twice. He's got a hamstring injury. But he's played through all of this. He's a very physically and mentally tough. You think you have to be physically tough to play with injuries. He's also very mentally tough.
Curtis has made 32 catches coming into the game. The 9-year man from San Diego State. What a receiving corps they've got now with Collinsworth and Mercer joining in as rookies this year. All kinds of motion, flags everywhere. On 3rd and 11 for the Bengals. Max Montoya, number 65.
Number 65 offense.
There it is. Illegally proceeding as he pulled back before that ball came back from the center, Blair Bush, to Anderson.
False start, number 65 offense.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 15, and penalties continue to plague the Bengals in this first half of play, and we've seen a lot of good offensive plays, Fred, but we have just a 7-0 football game.
Well, Forrest Gregg said they want to play well and win this thing and lock this thing up, but they can't do it by making mistakes.
3 wide receivers again for the Bengals on 3rd and 15. Anderson, just about running out of time, finds Collinsworth wide open, and a big play for the first down to the 27-yard line, where Eric Wright put the ramp on him. But one of the defenders appeared to slip as Collinsworth found the open space between the linebackers and the secondary. So the rookie from Florida comes up with a big play.
He's been doing this quite a bit this year. He's got 50-some-odd catches here. And what he does great here, he reads as he comes inside. Now, the ball is low because of the pressure that the 49ers were putting on Kenny Anderson.
Charles Alexander back in at running back with Johnson. They line up in the I formation. Cincinnati, first down. Alexander squeezes his way for about 2 yards. Craig Pookie and Archie Reese, the nose tackle, made the hit. But another flag is down. Alexander got to the 25-yard line of San Francisco.
You know, penalties like that down in this area come out of defensive frustration. What happens is, somewhere along the front line, the defensive lineman...
Personal foul, face mask, number 76 on the defense.
In that case, it was Dwayne Board, the right end. What happens is, Board's probably being frustrated here as far as his pass rush and his line play, so when he does get a chance to get a guy, he's a little bit too over-aggressive, and they get called for stuff like that.
Detroit in front of Green Bay, as you can see. Close, important game. Central, this is Johnson, and the 49ers shut him down inside the 20-yard line. He got to about the 18. Pickup of 2 yards on the play, depending on where they spot the ball. Chicago in front of the Vikings 3-0, and next Saturday, NCAA basketball will precede the Minnesota-Detroit football game in the East, 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central. A lot of important games as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season.
That could decide that division, that Minnesota-Detroit game.
2nd and 8 for the Bengals here in Cincinnati. 17-yard line. Anderson to Pete Johnson, complete. And he is hit immediately by Carlton Williamson, number 27. He got to the 12-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down. And about 3 yards to go. 3rd and a long 3 for a 1st down. David Burser comes into the game along with Steve Kreider. Alexander comes out, and the tight end Ross comes out. And the 49ers rush in a bunch of down and distance situation defensive players, including Milt McCall, the linebacker, number 53. Anderson with a quick drop, lobs it up, and it is incomplete. A diving save by Carlton Williamson, with Kreider evidently open behind him, hustling back. Williamson, in a desperation lunge, knocked it away.
Now, the receivers go down, and they go right to the corner. Now, I'll tell you something. This guy is a rookie. We said this before, but the position that he has on this play and his ability and his tenacity are just incredible. I'm very, very impressed with him. And I tell you, I don't think there's anything he can't do.
Looked like he was beaten on the play and scrambled back to make a brilliant defensive stop. So it is Jim Breach attempting the field goal for the Bengals from the 20-yard line, a 30-yard attempt. And it is good. Jim Breach connecting for the Bengals, his 18th field goal in 26 tries this season, and Cincinnati is on the scoreboard with 2:32 remaining 1st half. The 49ers lead 7-3. Tim Ryan with Fred Dreyer back here at Riverfront Stadium, where Jim Breach has kicked a 30-yard field goal to get Cincinnati into it here. They trail 7-3. Breach will kick it off. Bill Ring and Mike Wilson are the deep men for the 49ers, standing back on the goal line. And Breach nails it to the corner, and it goes into the end zone and all the way through for a touchback. So the 49ers will start from their own 20.
Excuse me, Tim. Jim Breach from University of California. They like him very, very much. He does a good job of placing the ball, as you saw there. His family being from California, I'm sure he says hello.
New Backwoods Smokes just hit town. Looking wild, but tasting mild.
New Backwoods Smokes. How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild? New Backwoods Smokes. How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild?
New Backwoods Smokes. All natural tobacco, hand-rolled look in a keep 'em fresh pocket pouch.
How can anything that looks so wild taste so mild?
The engineers of Mercedes-Benz have created an advanced diesel power system. Its heart, this compact turbocharger. And this system has just transformed 2 more diesels into high-performance turbo diesels. Mercedes-Benz unleashes the 300D sedan and the 300CD coupe. Now with 45% more power. The 300D sedan and the 300CD coupe. The 2 newest turbo diesels from Mercedes-Benz.
They upset the Cowboys, made turkey of the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. Saturday, the Detroit Lions face the Minnesota Vikings in a fight for the playoffs starting at 3:30 Eastern with the NFL Today, Saturday on CBS.
Forrest Gregg, what a season he's having with these Bengals as their head coach. Elsewhere in the NFL today, Detroit in front of Green Bay now 10-7 in the second quarter. That's a nail-biter and a key game for both clubs. Chicago still in front of Minnesota. The Vikings in that Central Division dogfight as well. Next week, Green Bay at New Orleans. Fred now will be down there, and the Giants at St. Louis. So, obviously, the way the Packers score is going today, that could be a biggie next week down in New Orleans. All right, the 49ers, first down, Montana, complete to Wilson. Wilson gets away from one Bengal tackler and then is hauled down by Gary Burley, who came way back from the line of scrimmage. But the 49ers have a first down out to their 36-yard line. Mike Wilson, number 85, the rookie from Washington State, with Freddie Solomon out of the lineup with a kidney injury. Mike Schumann, the four-year man from Florida State, and Mike Wilson, the rookie from Washington State, getting the action today. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, where the score remains the 49ers 7, the Bengals 3.
Gramp, I'm here to help you install your garage door opener.
I did it myself, son. It's a Stanley.
Hey, Dad, thanks for the garage door opener.
I'll show you how to put it up.
We did it this morning.
The Stanley. Harry. Oh, happy birthday, dear.
You did it yourself.
It's a Stanley.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
This Christmas, open the door for someone you love. Give a Stanley garage door opener.
Okay, everybody, let's hear it for winter driving. Well, we didn't hear from you Jeep CJ owners. Off to the slopes, eh? Didn't hear from you Wagoneer families. Nice and secure. And you Jeep Cherokee owners don't seem to mind a little snow. Say, you Jeep truckers just keep on trucking, don't you? While you Jeep scramblers keep on scrambling. Get out of your rut this winter and get into Jeep. Now with ice-breaking rebates from $500 to $775.
Next Saturday, NCAA basketball action continues on CBS Sports. Both of you will see Marquette against the Deacons of Wake Forest live at 1:30 Eastern. Then the NFL Today kicks off with a special Saturday broadcast at 3:30, followed by the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions game. That should be a big one. Viewers in the Pacific time zone will see their NCAA basketball following the NFL action, and it'll be the USC Trojans against the Long Beach State 49ers. A great Saturday of sports next week on CBS. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. 3 wide receivers are in for the 49ers. On first down, Montana lofts it out incomplete for Dwight Clark. Coverage on him by the linebacker Reggie Williams, number 57. It'll bring up second down for San Francisco from their own 36-yard line. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Bengals and the National Football League is prohibited. Mike St. Clair comes in defensively for the Bengals, number 72. Cameron and LeClaire come out. Eason Ramson is in at tight end for the 49ers on 2nd and 10. Earl Cooper, running back. Montana under pressure for Schumann, incomplete. Montana just got that away. Covering Schumann on the play was number 27, Brian Hicks.
Tim, one of the things that we've brought out about Joe Montana is his ability to improvise. Now, he knew he was going to get hit. Now, Schumann runs a pattern down here, runs under the defense. See how all the defensive guys have been cleared out by the other guys? Well, that pass was almost completed by a guy who was almost literally parallel with the ground. So that's a great play and a great adjustment by Joe Montana to get rid of the ball.
Montana's now 10 of 15, Fred, for 91 yards and a touchdown. Cooper and Patton are the running backs on third down. In motion goes Ricky Patton. Montana rolling. He's got real estate. Has the first down and slides into the 48-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers.
That was a play from Joe Montana all the way from the snap of the ball. That was all Joe Montana, and he got a real good block on the defensive end to allow him to get outside on that. Those type of plays can hurt you, but on the other hand, like I said earlier by Kenny Anderson, if you run with the ball, you may have to pay an ultimate price with it. You can't afford to get this guy hurt.
St. Clair comes out. 3 down linemen, Burley, Whitley, and Browner for the Bengals on first down. The 48-yard line of San Francisco. Montana wants to throw, and he found Schumann, but he dropped the ball. Schumann was open. Now flags are thrown. After Schumann dropped the ball, he took a lick, and he might have gotten one too many. Let's see what the call is by referee Jerry Seaman on this play. It would be a tough break against Cincinnati because Schumann had dropped the ball. It is a personal foul indicated, and referee Seaman's going to confer to make sure he gets the right man here, I guess. So the 49ers take advantage of the penalty against the Bengals and have another first down, and the ball is at the 36 of the Bengals.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 26 on the defense. First down.
Bobby Kemp, the rookie from California at Fullerton, is the man.
Now, Montana unloads the ball. Yeah, I think, that's a legitimate call. I think so. What he did was, in the opinion of the official, not only did he hit him late, but he hit him with his face mask.
So the 49ers keep it going in Bengal territory. Patton with a good hole behind Keith Bonhorst and picks up 6 yards on the play. Another flag is down. We have seen more yellow out here than we've seen white and black and orange.
Looks like the highway out here.
This one is apparently against the 49ers.
Oh, we're going to even it up now, I guess.
Oh, they don't do that, do they, Fred?
Well, sometimes.
57 seconds remaining in the first half of play. What kind of conversation do you have when that happens? You go over and talk to the official?
Holding number 49 on the offense.
Well, you have a tendency to question his judgment very vehemently. Don't get too close, so you get thrown out. You don't want to be like Leo DeRoche and get too close to these guys and start bumping them. But you really want to let them know you thought it was a lousy call.
Earl Cooper got this call for holding. It backs the 49ers out to the Bengals' 46-yard line. Mike Wilson is in, 3 wide receivers. Lone running back is Cooper, and he gets out into the pattern quickly to Clark. Clark with a nice move. Got away from LeClaire. Bo Harris came back to get him.
You know, Tim, in the opinion of Bill Walsh, number 87, Dwight Clark, is the team's MVP.
Hurry-up offense here as the 49ers flip it out to Clark again. Montana completing it, and Clark stretching, trying to get the first down as Ken Riley pulled on his ankles to keep him short of the first down. 30 seconds on the clock as play is called. An injured Bengal down at the 25-yard line, and that is Cameron, number 50, getting up slowly, but apparently all right.
The 49ers do a very, very good job, don't they, of moving the ball with 2 minutes or less. They've won a game in Los Angeles because of this guy here, Montana's ability to move the football.
49ers have taken the timeout with 25 seconds left. With 30 seconds left, pardon me, on the 25-yard line. And so Joe Montana has a chance to discuss offensive strategy here with the 49er coaching staff.
Part of that strategy is, and part of his development as a coach and a quarterback relationship, is times like this when they really have to communicate, look into each other's eyes, and understand exactly in concept what each other is saying. It's very, very important not to have any wasted motion down here inside the 20-yard line.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to have Brent Musburger, and Herb Cross will be along to update you on all of the action around the National Football League today. And with this wild card situation literally wide open, all of those scores of interest and importance. Patton comes in. Wilson goes out for the 49ers. They have first down at the Bengal 25. We have 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Great drop from Montana. Has lots of time. Intended for Clark, and it's incomplete. Had he caught it, he would have been out of bounds. Riley and Williams, 13 and 57 on the coverage for Cincinnati. Second and 10. The clock stopped with 24 seconds remaining. In the half, the San Francisco 49ers leading at 7-3. We've had lots of offense, but little scoring. Penalties and 2 interceptions by the 49ers, blunting any more scoring on the part of the teams involved today.
You know, if you had to say up to this point in time in the first half, what team has done the things they wanted to do, it's been the 49ers. They've allowed to play their nickel against Cincinnati, and they've allowed to move. They've been able to move the ball on the ground and in the air.
Second and 10. Cooper goes in motion. Flared out to Ricky Patton. Patton is one-on-one with Harris, gets out of bounds after a gain of only about 3 yards, stopping the clock with 16 seconds remaining in this first half. Temperatures in the high 30s here in Cincinnati on a brilliant sunny afternoon. Shadows have almost completely covered the turf here at Riverfront Stadium. Tim Ryan with Fred Dreyer. This key matchup between two 10-3 teams. People are afraid to talk about it being a Super Bowl preview because there's still too much that can happen the rest of the way in the NFL. But right now, along with Dallas, they have the best records in the NFL. Flags everywhere again.
Encroachment, number 75 defense.
Wilson Whitley is charged with encroachment. And the 49ers pick up an easy 5. And didn't lose anything on the clock. Still 16 seconds left.
Encroachment, number 75 defense.
Third and 2. Big penalty there.
Yeah, it was a very big penalty. And I wouldn't be surprised if right down inside this territory, if you can get a couple more of those within the next 16 seconds, you're in business.
Wide throw set. Patton and Cooper. Patton blockers in front of him, trying to take it outside. A brilliant tackle by Reggie Williams, stripping through the blockers and making an ankle grab. Patton appears to have the first down. 8 seconds remaining in the first half, and the 49ers take another timeout. Montana will head over to talk to Bill Walsh. 7-3, the 49ers lead it. They have 1 timeout remaining. And they now have the ball at the 14-yard line, just inside the 15 of Cincinnati with a first down.
I would think right now Bill Walsh would tell Joe, keep the ball, put the ball in the center of the field so our field goal kicker can get 3 points. I don't know if he would like to try to risk an interception or a turnover down here by throwing the football. I think he would try to keep it on the ground.
Well, it's been a most interesting half of football. We have seen these two teams that are so well balanced, a lot of really interesting offense, not just your usual run-of-the-mill kind of offensive display. They both have been very entertaining, but we've seen inevitable flags occur just when the teams have had drives going. And in the case of the Bengals, of course, they had their first 2 offensive series stopped by interceptions by the 49ers.
I think a lot of it might be due to the fact that both teams are, I should say that the Bengals are trying to clinch. They haven't yet. They might be a little bit envious of the 49ers who have.
Well, a victory today would clinch a playoff spot for them. Of course, they'd like to win that division, but Pittsburgh's still alive in it. Slot formation left on first down. Montana will throw. Intended for Clark. Is he in? Yes, touchdown. Dwight Clark just inside the in line. Right on the money. 2 officials were standing on the in line, and he got those 2 feet down with 2 seconds on the clock.
Well, my expertise really showed up there, didn't it? I was figuring they would go for 3 points, but they went into the end zone. That's what's interesting about this football team. Dwight Clark comes down. It's somewhat of a surprise to Ken Riley. He just goes to the end line, and that's where the ball's going to be. In this situation, what happens is the quarterback is told to go to the end line, and he runs to the ball.
Ray Wershing in for the point after. And he has it. So the 49ers, with a touchdown in the final seconds of this first half, have opened tied up. A 14-3 lead here at Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium.
I can remember what it's like, just like David, sitting in the audio booth, listening to all those different frequencies of sounds, wondering if I would soon be able to hear like the other kids.
This is Reggie Williams of the Cincinnati Bengals, an NFL star who suffered severe hearing and speech problems as a child.
I know from personal experience of the loneliness, of the feelings of insecurity, of the problems that I had with both teachers and my friends in the classroom. But I found that with a lot of hard work, with the fine help of a lot of the volunteers from United Way, I was able to have the confidence to continue my education and even find a lot of enjoyment in learning. I would like to ask everyone to support those programs in your community dealing with hearing and speech impairments. I guess what we're trying to say is that, you know, it really does work for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. Tim Ryan and Fred Dreyer here in Cincinnati. 2 seconds to play first half. Dwight Clark, number 87, has just scored for the 49ers. He has 5 catches today for 73 yards and a touchdown. Montana, not bad, 15 of 22, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ray Wersching will kick it off for the 49ers. And deep is David Verser, along with Archie Griffin. And the squib kick is fielded well at midfield by the Cincinnati Bengals, Bobby Kemp, and that'll finish it off. We have completed the first half of play at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. At the end of the first half, the score, the San Francisco 49ers 14 and the Cincinnati Bengals 3. Let's take another look at that touchdown, and we'll
in
see
this
Dwight Clark
situation,
again.
Tim, in this situation, Montana just throws it to the end line and allows his receiver to run to the ball. Yeah, he's got both in there.
Yep, that's a good view of it.
Boy, is that a beautiful play.
Dwight Clark?
Yeah, they just figured that they already had 3 points. They were already lined up for 3 points. Let's try to get it into the end zone and really blow them out a little bit. And they did it.
Dear Atari Anonymous, my son Boris has a missile command problem.
My mission in life is to save all of mankind.
Lately, my daughter has developed a similar problem with Atari Warlord. Now, with video pinball, my husband is acting funny lately. With Atari games so ingenious, so involving, so intense, I ask you, Atari Anonymous, is this problem contagious?
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
Introducing the car Cadillac owners preferred overall to a Cadillac. Introducing the 1982 Lincoln Town Car. When Cadillac owners compared DeVille to the Lincoln Town Car based on comfort, roominess, luxury, and ride, 86 out of 100 preferred the Lincoln Town Car overall. Lincoln Town Car, the car Cadillac owners preferred.